Is that intentional? Is the bunny supposed to match the shirt, or is the shirt supposed to
That
match the
was
bunny?
just
Or
conveniently what
it
happened today, apparently. We call him
just worked
Spork
out that way.
sometimes.
That's
He's
just
looking
life.
pretty.
Sometimes we have bunnies that match our shirts.
He's in his little hidey hole right there. That's him. He's really small. He's like this big. He looks like
Oh,
Leonard Nimoy.
is he
So
a dwarf? Is he a dwarf?
he is a dwarf. Yeah, he's a dwarf rabbit.
I love
Yeah,
dwarfs.
he's
I had one in college.
oh yeah, he's cute. I just
Uh,
found him on like Facebook, and I was like, ooh, I could use another
ooh,
rabbit. So yeah,
how many rabbits do you have?
I used to have two, but
Okay.
one of them just recently passed away. She was an old
Hmm.
girl. She was a rescue, had all sorts of stuff. So now I just got this little guy or whatever, and he's a handful. He's something. He's got a lot of personality. We'll just leave it at that.
That sounds like it matches you.
Thank you. I think
Well, you
we'll
get a lot of
see.
personality.
I got
Speaking
something going
speaking
on.
speaking of which, for the people that have been listening to us babble for about 60 seconds, my
Oops.
guest tonight, Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Happy to be
Sam,
here.
right. I'm happy to have you here on Movies in Minutes. The first thing that we always talk about before we get down to business with, the trailers in question are what kind of movies do you like? Regardless of what you watch today, just in general, what are the kinds of things that like get you excited, especially like to go to the movies, but just in general.
So I like it's hard to say. I mostly end up going to the movies for things that are like horror movies that I have liked
Mhm.
previously. So like I went to go see the new Evil Dead one.
Mhm.
Excuse me. I went to
Mhm.
go see the new Evil Dead one. I liked that because I previously liked that. I'm not a huge movie person, surprisingly. I'm super I'm hypercritical of them, but
Mhm.
like I don't know. There's some movies I just absolutely love. Like one of my favorite movies is The Sandlot for like no reason at all. Obviously, I didn't see that in theaters, but yeah, I'll
Life,
go for that.
like life nostalgia, probably.
Oh, I love a good nostalgia movie. I'm such a like, oof, they're so good. But yeah, I do go to the movies for like horror movies sometimes. I've gone for a good amount of the Marvel movies, which are nice, but they don't always like get me in,
Mhm.
like right through the door and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'd say probably like nice nostalgia movies. Like one of the things I did see in the trailers that we looked at, I would probably go see it. I would.
There's, I mean, one of them might just be like biased because of the fact that we both worked at a certain game store for
Oh
years.
yeah,
One of
that
us,
one. I don't know if I'd see that one, but we'll see. That one actually looks kind of spooky.
that
It
one looks.
does. It's got jump scares in it, I think. Like I can't I don't know if I can
Um,
handle that.
we'll get there. All right. So that's almost better that you're more critical of movies. You're not like willing to just
Yeah.
jump on everyone because
Mhm.
part of the show, and this is sort of an unofficial thing, but I like when I pitch it to people like to be guests, like I kind of tell them, but I don't tell fans, oh my God, you're hearing me say a thing that you're not supposed to know. Is it's almost like I'm trying to convince you one way or the other in some way, shape, or form. Like if a movie's really bad, as a friend and as a guest, like I want to help keep you away from it. And
Okay.
or if it's really good, like I'm trying to convince you towards it. So if you're not easily convinced, like it's almost more of a
No.
challenge for me. Like, oh man, all right,
Yeah.
how am I gonna get her to go?
Yeah, there's so I end up like not liking a lot of movies at all. And then there's a good amount where somebody's like, I think you'll like this, and then I go see it and then I'm like obsessed with it. So that does happen. When I do like something, I go hard, but
Mhm.
I like a lot of good quality things and not really so much quantity. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm a little
Mhm.
critical about a lot of movies, but I've been wrong before. So
So it doesn't normally work out this way, but like a lot of times, the movies that get included in what we talk about are just in sequential order of like as they came out.
okay.
And but today it also so happens that I think the quality of the films get progressively better from one to two to three, like three being like maybe the best today, and one being, and if we have to name a worst, like that might be it. That being said, the first one
I think I know
I
which
sent
one.
you today, I believe, was It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
like knife with a KN, like for anybody who's
Yeah.
listening. Um what did that trailer do for you? What do you think that movie's about?
So I feel like this was like I don't know, maybe it's just me. It seemed like it was like a little too ambiguous and then like a little too like maybe a little too actiony at first. Like I wasn't super into it at first. Well, I don't know. So I didn't really like that trailer that much. What I think the movie is about is
Mhm.
it's like a girl, she made a wish that she regrets, but also like there's this thing killing people. So we've got like two kind of really big plots. So for me, I was
Mhm.
like, ooh, that's kind of weird. Um,
Mhm.
and they did nothing to fill in the gaps. Like apparently there's this thing that keeps coming back or whatever, like wreaking havoc. And I'm just sitting here seeing him stab people. I'm assuming it's a him. I don't really know. I'm just watching somebody get stabbed. And I'm like, I don't really know what the meat of this story is gonna be.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if it would really grasp my attention. Also, I don't know if it's just going to be like a really cheap slasher that like, just isn't really going to be good, I guess. I will say I did like the way the character looked. I thought that was really, really cool. And I think they referenced it as the angel or something, which I think that's awesome. Like I actually feel like this would make a better like I don't know, maybe like novel, but who knows?
Um, no, so you're not far off base. The trailer does not help like share what this movie's about in
Mhm.
in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it does a little. The
Yeah.
slasher thing, the slasher angle is definitely there. Are you familiar with It's a Wonderful Life, the like Christmas classic?
I'm actually not.
No. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
not. I'm sorry.
no, no, no.
I have
That's
no
okay.
idea.
It's super old. It's like way before either of us were ever thought of. But it's like a Christmas classic for some people in the way that like Miracle on 34th Street is, or Elf, or it's just like one of those
Really?
Christmas
Okay.
movies. But this guy wishes that like he'd never been born, and then
Okay.
like an angel walks him around and shows him what his life would be like if like he'd never been born, and it's like a really typical like it's set the trope for like what happens when you wish you weren't born,
Really?
and
Okay.
this movie is supposed to be like the B horror
That
slasher
changes
version of that because the girl
that changes a
has
lot.
like yeah, I mean, I don't want to like outline the plot 100%, but through a series of circumstances, she wishes she had never been born.
Mhm.
She doesn't have an angel walking her around or anything. She actually like keeps stumbling into the spots in her life that she recognizes, but nobody recognizes her after
Mhm.
she makes the wish.
Yeah.
And there is a slasher element. There are people getting killed, and she's kind of trying to figure out like once she realizes that like she done fucked up, like she needs to find a way to get back to life before the wish.
Yeah.
And it's a cheesy B horror movie. I mean, a
I
lot
do
of
like
those
those
are
sometimes.
yeah, they're kind of like a guilty pleasure movie. That's kind of how I felt when I saw it. I was like, "Oh, okay. So like we know this isn't going to win any Oscars, but like we might still get a laugh out of it." Um there's also a guy in it. He's in like a lot of movies, but like
Mhm.
you love to kind of hate him. His name's Justin Long.
I've heard that name before.
He was in like Accepted and
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
He's like kind of like the douchebag that like is ruining everybody's Christmas in the movie. So there's that.
Okay. Yeah.
So um that being said, it's not a great movie like by any stretch of the imagination. Like out of 5 stars, I call this one like a 2 for
Okay.
the
I
fun
can see
laughs that
I
you
can see that.
yeah, the fun laughs that you get from it being B horror slasher Christmas movie.
Mhm.
Um I I kind of already know the answer because of what you said. But do you think that that's something that you would go see?
It's
Don't feel
it is
obligated
something I
to
would rent.
sugarcoat it.
I would 100% rent that. Sorry, I have like a fuzz of cat hair flying around. We're gonna see a cat like whip around at high speeds at some point, I bet. But anyway, I would rent that
Or
movie. I
both.
don't think I would go see it in theaters though.
Yeah.
What you said makes a lot more sense actually. Like that 100% like
Mhm.
added a lot more to the fact that it was based off of something. Because I love me like a good reboot with like a twist on it, especially if it's horror. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like ultimately, I'm just kind of like, ooh, I don't know. Like it did not grasp me. I think
Mhm.
the character looked cool. I feel like the character just kind of looked like
Mhm.
Moon Knight, honestly. Like
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
that kind of gave me like that vibe a little bit the way you looked. I was like, okay.
when you watch it, at some point they have like their little like town like tree lighting ceremony,
Yeah.
and the angel thing that's on the top of the tree looks just like the slasher.
Okay, I
So
see.
and again, if the trailer makers were smart, they would have like panned and showed you like that tree and then showed you the slashers. Then you could have been like, oh, I get
Yeah,
it.
that would
It's
have
the same
helped.
thing.
It also would have
Yeah.
helped if I knew what the original story was, but I had never seen that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't have a TV like really for a while when I grew up. Like, we only had like Channel 3. You know what I mean? Like, I
I
watched
mean,
Power Rangers and Wishbone and Batman.
in
So,
fairness, like I said, it's like a really old Christmas classic. Like it
yeah.
probably came out in like the 30s or 40s. It's a black and white for sure, but like you know, it's a talking movie, but it's just a Christmas
Okay.
classic. If you ask somebody about it that's like way older than you or me,
Yeah, they would know
they'll
it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like kind of weird because like I don't think that they're gonna watch this like reboot of it. You know what I mean? Like they're not
No,
gonna care
by no
about it.
means.
But I don't
And the
know if it's
fun,
like grasping this generation.
yeah, it's definitely more like somebody grew up, watched that, and said like, how do I make like a spoof of this to the TikTok generation? And then they did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't go see it. It's piques my interest, but like I don't think it for me, I don't think it would be worth it at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I sort of I wouldn't say I got tricked into it, but once a month they do a thing where you can like go see a movie, but they don't tell you what it is. It's like a
Yeah.
mystery movie. So they only like charge you like $5 for it. So when you watch it, once you sit
Yeah.
down to watch it, you're like, I have no idea what I'm watching until it starts. So that's how I
Yeah.
got this one. But
Okay,
um
I see.
I personally don't think that you should even pay for the rental on this one.
Really? Oh, okay.
Netflix, Shutter, whatever. When it
Yeah.
falls on something and you're bored, go for it.
Yeah.
They don't need your money. They need a lesson in making a better trailer.
I agree. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Okay, cool.
So that was It's a Wonderful Knife. The next one I feel like hits a little home for both of us, given it's based on a video game franchise that has
Right?
been popular for years.
Mm-hmm.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's,
Have you ever
which
played Five Nights at Freddy's?
I have not. I've all of my information about that game came from, you know,
Customers?
said, yeah, place we
Yeah.
used to work.
Yeah.
And everything has come from that.
Mhm.
So I would like think I got a decent understanding about it. At first I
Yeah.
was like kind of not really partial to it because everybody kept thinking that like if I see anything with like Robbie Rabbit from Silent Hill, they're like, oh my god, is that Bonnie? And I think I just got like spicy about that because I was like, no, it's Silent Hill. But so there was like
Yeah.
a little personal vendetta I had against it. But I think it's really good as a game to get the
Yeah.
kids into like the spookier stuff. We don't have a lot of appropriate stuff
Mhm.
for kids nowadays. So I'm glad that they turned it
Mhm.
into a movie. I think it made sense personally.
It definitely does. And I mean like they did it PG-13 so they could
Yep.
get the kid audience.
It still scared the crap out of me because it had jump scares, I could tell. It looked like it did at least. The trailer kind of spooked me.
It's got a few. But you
Does
know,
it? Okay.
what kind of horror movie would it be if it didn't?
I don't know. I get scared by the toaster. Like, so, I mean, I
There's
enjoy them, but it still
there's
doesn't mean I
better
can
jump scares
handle
than the
it.
toaster.
Yeah.
Um,
Toaster jump scare.
yeah. So my whole thing about this, like when I was going into it, and I'm gonna say this with the most utmost respect, but like you know how some of our customers used to be that like were way more excited about stuff than we were. They're like they're
Hmm.
coming to us, they're talking to us, they're telling us about it, and like we
Yep.
have to sort of like mirror that energy, but like on
Yeah.
the inside we're like I wouldn't play this. I have no love for this, and that's
Yeah.
when people were talking to me about how excited they were for this. I was just like, it's a horror movie, which is my jam, and I'll totally see this, but like I'm not the fan base for this game, so like
Yeah.
am I the target audience?
Hmm.
And I went and saw it with fans, like people that were diehard fans of the game. And all I'll say before I ask you about your thoughts on the trailer and stuff and like what you know about it is that the fans really seem to enjoy it. Like the targeted like
Yeah.
fan audience, if you ask them how many stars they rated it, they probably would tell you like a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But
I've heard a little
again,
bit of
that's
feedback. Everybody loved it so far.
right. And I'm not sure if the people that told you that were like diehard fans, but that might line up with that.
Yeah. They were definitely the demographic. They were definitely the fans.
Okay.
Definitely
Fair
it.
enough.
They loved it, so I'm like, "That's good to hear at least." Because every
Yeah.
movie I liked from, like, a video game or whatever that got turned into a movie, 90% of them just turned just awful, you know?
Mhm.
Well,
I definitely
arguably.
think that this one is better than most of your video game adaptations. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you randomly see like Hitman or like Blood Rain or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, what was the budget on this thing?
Right? Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so
some are just not good.
what do you think the story is about just based on what you saw for the trailer and or maybe what knowledge you have going into this?
Yeah, so I've got zero knowledge about the game, sort of, besides the fact that you look at like video cameras, like screens. That's
Hmm.
all I know about the game. I obviously know the names of the characters. That's about it. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if this like is what happens in the game, but I had no idea that they were like possessed
Hmm.
by apparently maybe the ghosts of children that went missing in the 80s, which I thought was
Hmm.
kind of cool. I didn't know
Yeah.
that personally, so I really liked that. And then yeah, it was a guy seems like he doesn't really want the job, but he's like, all right, I
Hmm.
guess I'll do it. Bites off way more than he can chew, obviously, because like haha, there's dead kids or something like that, like hanging out, like
I
possessing
feel like
things.
they
I don't
should.
know.
I feel like they're supposed to disclose that to you when you're accepting that job.
Yeah,
It
yeah. Well,
doesn't.
I mean, she tells him after. She just kind of throws it out there, which I actually thought that was kind of funny. I like dark comedy, so while it wasn't super
Hmm.
dark, it was kind of cute. I was like, yeah, that's nice.
Hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, that's and then there's the little girl. I can't remember what her name was. I heard him scream it like 6 times in the trailer. But there's the little girl, so we got like that little plot there. So we've already got somebody that we're probably going to get super attached to, and
Hmm.
she's going to be the bargaining chip throughout the movie. That's going to make us like either be happy or sad, which I'm
Hmm.
fine with. I think that we need that because if it were to be if she wasn't in there, then like well, I'm just watching screens. I've got no
Hmm.
point. I've got no feeling. I've got
Yeah.
no emotion. I don't care what happens. But now we got like a
Hmm.
cute like little girl that's at like stake here. So I'm like, okay, I get it. I think there's a nice plot there.
Hmm. Um, do you think that I put this? Yes, we know it's a horror movie, but do you think that knowing that they're trying to pitch it at a younger audience, do you think it goes the route of other horror movies where it's going to have a not happy ending, or do you think they like kind of like soften it up, because they know they're pitching it at tweens
Kids,
basically?
yeah. I I would bet like 100% basically, well, like 99% that they're gonna make it soft. And that's actually probably why I wouldn't really be as into it because I feel like I'm gonna go into this like PG-13. I know I'm not gonna see anything off the walls, which is
Hmm.
okay. And then also I just feel like the demographic that it's going for does kind of withhold like as much meat that we could get out of the story, or at least stuff that would interest me.
Hmm.
They're not gonna do anything like Buck Wild and
Hmm.
I'm just kind of like, okay, it's probably going to have a happy ending. I would just assume that. I'm sure there's
Um,
some cute one-liners in it, but I would assume a happy ending. Yeah.
okay. Um, they also had like a sort of a veteran horror actor in the trailer too. Like you only get kind of a glimpse of him, but he
Oh,
plays
really?
more of a role. Matthew Lillard.
What? Oh,
Oh,
my
oh, you
thing
you
just
didn't
like
see
fell.
him?
I didn't see Matthew Lillard. I looked at it on my phone. I love him. Hold on, let
He
me
was
pick this
he was
up.
the like work
Add.
counselor.
I
When
didn't
he's like
recognize him as Matthew Lillard. I love that guy. Okay, that makes me happy. Okay,
oh,
that's
so I might have you
perfect.
convinced. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I
so
love
Matthew
Matthew Lillard.
Lillard's
He's
like the
great.
guy's career counselor when he
Yeah,
has to accept the job that he doesn't really want to take. He's like, well, it's a crap job, it's a night job, but they'll
hmm
take you,
yeah,
So, and he's there. He has some other like roles in the movie. And he was kind of part of what sold it for me too because I like him. So I was like,
yeah,
okay. Um, I think it would surprise you to find out that while there may be some amount of like happy ending, that it's not 100%.
like, is
I
it kind
I
of more
get
adult then? A little?
they push that PG-13 as far as they're allowed to. Um,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some things that, like, just having seen enough movies, I know, like, what the difference between PG-13 and R is, like, you might see a brutal killing, but what they'll do is they'll, like, at the last second cut away from you seeing, like, maybe, like, the claw of the animatronic monster physically, like, rend flesh, but,
Yeah.
like, you're hearing it, you're seeing the splatter, the tone
Okay.
of the moment is there. And, if that's how the games were, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
Um, because I guess the way some one of the fans that I went and saw this with pointed it out to me was that if the tone of the games was more like PG-13 and then all of a sudden they ratcheted the movie up to R, it
Yeah.
wouldn't feel like the thing that it's supposed to be like drawing source material from.
Yeah.
And I said, that's a good way to put that.
Makes
Um,
sense.
but then I flipped that on them and I said, well, then maybe the game should be more R-rated.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I actually kind
But
of wondered why they made FNAF and directed it towards like kids essentially. I know a bit about like, the original developer and stuff and like where he came from and what he used to do. That makes sense. But
Yeah.
like that game would be absolutely amazing if it was like an actual survival horror game made for adults and probably rated M.
Mhm.
And then it might have been a good movie, but I feel like they put extra care into it because of how big of a following they have.
So the creator behind the game, like you see his name a couple of times in the credits. I think he'd been given pretty reasonable creative control about how they
Okay.
did the story and what they did. Um, I think for what this was, it was pretty good. It was pretty enjoyable. I think out of 5 stars, I gave this one a 3.5.
Okay.
Um, because at the end of the day, you can enjoy something, you can like it. And then when you look at it cinematically, then you kind of like have to kind of step back and say, okay, well, did this like do anything groundbreaking for the horror genre? Not really.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't enjoy it and like the fact that it was, a nifty idea that um maybe hasn't 100% been done this way before. The animatronics being possessed by the spirits of dead and kidnapped children. I
Yeah.
can't think of another movie that did that exactly. No,
Hmm.
but we've seen possession films, we've seen animatronic films, or
Yeah.
there's stuff like this out there. Um, but I think that you would enjoy this one. Um,
Really? Okay.
I do, I do. I weirdly, after what you said earlier, I weirdly worry that that may like send you down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
No pun intended with the rabbit. Because if you enjoy the movie, then you might hop back onto the games. Wow, all these rabbit puns, they're 100% not intentional.
It's
Top.
okay, like bunnies.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. But like, yeah, you might like start backtracking, and then who knows, the next time we catch you on stream, you're playing
Playing
FNAF. Like,
FNAF. I mean, you never know, maybe. That's a
so,
possibility. Especially with how
yeah.
much I react to anything spooky. I am a pansy, like to the highest degree.
Really, you're a pansy for spooky?
Huge pansy. I love it still, but like I'm such a pansy. Like I said, get scared of the toaster. Like I play like some of the, like Phasmophobia or something like that. Like I am it's terrible. I'm awful, but it's
I
incredibly
think
entertaining because I'm such a pansy, in my
I think
opinion.
you sort of just answered why they targeted this type of the game at kids, because kids are
They're
sort of at
pansies.
that pansy
Yeah,
stage in their lives,
it's
and but at the same
exhilarating.
but yeah, you like want to like be scared to get over the fear.
Yeah, no, I
So
agree with that. I still feel
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I will say one thing about it, I would have definitely been like, yeah, I want to see this if they actually did like I'm sure there was many reasons why this couldn't happen. I would have loved to see real animatronics, like fuzzy Chuck E. Cheese
Mhm.
looking things. It looked
Yeah.
CGI to me. Um,
So weirdly enough, it's not.
it's
They're
not. What is it?
they're they're like suits. They're like really well designed suits.
I could not tell that. Like I saw a couple. Like I looked at it. It looked like it was
Yeah,
like. I guess like I just wish they were fuzzy. I don't know. Are
yeah.
they fuzzy?
They
Did I
might
not notice
they
that?
might they might be fuzzy.
They might be.
Um,
Oh wow. Okay, that actually would make me
the
feel a lot
budget
better.
the budget on this movie was $20 million, right? Like
Okay.
they didn't have money in their budget for CGI. But this movie's already done way better than they thought it was going to do. Like I looked before we hopped on here. As of today, it's been out for 8 days. It's got $160 million
Holy
in the
crap.
box office bills. So like they'll probably make sequels. Like
Yeah.
when you make 8, 10, all those many times more than what you thought you were gonna make on your budget. Like so,
That works.
yeah, that one might be the one to watch out for if you and Zach are bored one night. So
Right. I wonder if I can get him to go
um
see FNAF. We'll see.
up however, and I say this with some trepidation because I always like my goal is to get people to the theaters. Full disclosure, this movie day and date with the theater did also come out on Peacock, so it is available to watch from home technically.
This one I would probably prefer in a theater because of the atmosphere. I think that that's a big impact on that. Like especially with the way the trailer was and whatnot. Like
Mhm.
I feel like I would love to see it in a theater. I don't think it would do
The
the same.
the audience participation on this was pretty fun. I
Really.
was really worried. I was really worried that I was going to get a bunch of tweens screaming and yelling and throwing stuff, and people kind of reacted appropriately to scenes at the same time, and it was pretty great. I can't
Okay.
guarantee that that would happen with every audience, but
Yeah. If you
so
said that I would like this, I would honestly probably go see it. I big Matthew Lillard actually is a big part of it too, honestly. I just love him. And now I like
I'm
knowing that
telling you.
they weren't like CGI-ish. I don't know, they just looked kind of weird, but like
Mhm.
that makes me feel better too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably go see it and just like why not? You know, like I don't
Mhm.
think I'm gonna hate this movie now, so that's nice. And when
Yeah.
you said that they pushed the PG-13 as far as they could, I
Mhm.
don't feel like I'm gonna go in and know everything that's gonna happen. Whereas I felt like originally, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a kid movie. I'm gonna know what's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna be able to like guess
Yeah.
every single solitary plot twist, and I know it's not gonna be obscene or absurd. Nothing's gonna catch me off guard. But
There, there's definitely some plot twists and some layers to the movie, more than I thought there was
okay,
gonna be. So that's kind of
that's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
I'd probably see that one
Um.
honestly.
Well, good. If you,
Yeah, I think I'd see.
well, I'll make my pitch on what you should do after you see any of these at the end. But we got one more to talk about. This one, I quality wise, I think this one was the top of the day. But I'm curious to
Yeah.
see what you thought. The last trailer for the day was the Holdovers.
Hmm.
Holdovers. What do you think that one was about?
So I liked this one because of that nostalgia thing. I immediately, as soon as I looked at the trailer, I saw the like font of like everything. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. I really like it. I'm so instantly I was like kind of on board for all of that. So
Mm.
we've got a kid that has gone through trauma, and I'm like, okay, so we get to meet his dad passed away. I can't remember if both his parents passed away, but like so the trauma. And then we've got like this complete like dickhead teacher or whatever that's just like, you know, he's got his problems and they like kind of come together and resolve their issues together, it sounds like, which is a cute plot. I really liked all of the dark comedy that they put in the trailer. Like that was the other thing that got me. So I like the atmosphere. I like that it's kind of like I thought old nostalgic feel to it. I think the plot is good. It might make me cry. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not there to cry, but if I do, it's on board, sure. I think it's got
Mhm.
the right kind of comedy that I would enjoy. So that one immediately I'm like, oh, this is good. I would see it. I would 100% be on board for that. Like, I don't need any convincing on that personally.
I'm glad that that's the take you had. So this one, like before I say anything, this was a 5 out of 5. 5 stars.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that
a
makes me
hundred
feel good.
percent.
Okay. I was
Um,
hoping
so
because I can go.
so I mean, you
Eh.
you hit the plot pretty much on the head. Basically, it's like a boarding school.
Mhm.
I don't think they come right out and tell you. I think I had to pay real close attention at one point on one of the walls. I saw a calendar that said what the year was. They were trying real hard to
Yeah.
not tell you when it took
It was
place.
very ambiguous.
It was the 70s, I want to
Okay.
say,
Yeah, I was
early
gonna say
70s.
it looked like 70s for sure. All that
But
mustard
basically,
color.
the between the semesters of like Christmas and then the New Year every year, there's like a 2 week break where the kids from this boarding school have to go home,
Mhm.
and whatever kids can't go home get kind of babysat by
School.
a
Mhm.
member of the faculty who draws a short straw,
Yeah.
and the dickhead asshole teacher, as you pointed out, is the one that is in charge of the holdovers, as they're called,
Yeah.
for that break. But it becomes very quickly apparent that it's gonna just be like about him and one of the boys because
Yeah.
um another one of the boys' parents actually does end up showing up and saying like, hey, you guys can all come to our like ski chalet, ski trip, whatever. And like, the teacher is like, okay, well, I'll call each of your parents, and if they say okay, you can go, guess whose parents don't pick up the phone? Um,
Yeah.
it's the kid whose dad has passed on, and so it's a real tense like situation for them because the kid's got, like you said, he's got trauma that he's trying to work through.
Yeah.
The grown-up's got a lifetime's worth of trauma that he's like just trying to not deal with, and eventually they kind of have to interact or else they're gonna like kill each
Yeah.
other, not literally,
Mhm.
but um and there's a lot more here than what the trailer gives you, and I kind of don't want
Yeah.
to ruin it for you.
No, that's fine.
um
I'll actually see this one. I will.
you will, yeah.
Yeah, I will 100% see this one. Maybe I'll bring my dad to it or something like that. He likes these kinds of movies, honestly. Like I would totally go see
Uh,
this with my dad.
yeah, so I mean, they give you some stuff in the trailer that ends up being like kind of more layers to maybe some stuff they like mislead you on a little bit that like you're okay with because of where the movie ends up going. And I would without any specifics, I would say that this movie doesn't have a happy ending.
Oh, that's okay. I
In
can
the
handle it.
in the strictest sense, you know what I mean? Like it. How can I put
Can
it?
you really
It's
the ending with the plot that they've set up? I don't know if you really kind of have a happy ending from based off of what I know of the plot.
exactly. I mean, like there's like some uplifting moments. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's not like a totally sad moment, like the end of a movie where you think somebody like sacrificed themselves. It's nothing like that, but it's like it ends on a not great note, but with some good notes adding leading up to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So
So,
it's just open for interpretation maybe at the end?
how you feel, I guess, would be open for interpretation at the end, depending on how
Okay.
you've like kind of grown to like or dislike the characters.
Okay.
Something happens to somebody, and I guess if you didn't like them, you're gonna be like, good,
Yeah, that makes
great,
sense.
fuck you, or you might be like, damn, you really won me over. I hate that this is happening. So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, there's a it's definitely like a movie that you're here for the character development and the character
Yep.
moments for. It's not Avengers Endgame where you're trying to see the fight between Thanos and the Avengers.
Yeah.
The good stuff is coming in the little moments, especially like some of the dark humor that you mentioned. It persists throughout the film. So
That's good to
yeah,
hear.
you get plenty of that.
Yeah, that's what like originally like got me being
Mhm.
like, yeah, like I could probably do this because the atmosphere was nice, all that was nice and stuff. And then he made like a couple of jokes. I'm like, oh, there it is. Like I could left that somewhat unhinged. It was nice.
I'm I'm happy that that this was one that you're interested in seeing. Not that I didn't think that you would like it, but I didn't know that like that 70s aesthetic was gonna get you, and
Oh,
I'm
I
I'm
love
happily
it.
surprised for that.
Yeah, I love
Hmm.
that stuff so
Hmm.
much. Like as soon as I saw that, I got so excited about it. I was like, ooh, this is one of the ones that I would like.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, what that really means though is after you see these, you have to let me know if you liked them or not. Accurate, or maybe
Okay.
you were going to, or last. You end up flipping out. It's a Wonderful Knife, and you're like, God damn it, why did I watch this, Nabil?
Yeah,
And
I
I'll be
probably
like,
won't
I'm
see that one. I
sorry.
don't maybe I'll wait for that one
Yeah.
to, like, come out, like, on, like you said, like, Netflix or something like that. But I actually think I'd probably go see I think I'd see Five Nights. I'm pretty sure I would see it. Problem is I don't like going to movies alone. I have no idea who's gonna go with me to see that. I have to find somebody to go. Do you wanna see it again? No, yeah, okay. Zach,
Zach.
would you watch Five Nights at Freddy's? Okay, he just said maybe, never mind. He literally just said, maybe. All right, maybe I'd go see it with Zach. If I had somebody to go with, I'd probably see Five Nights.
If
The
not,
other
if
one,
not
the
Zach,
holdovers, I would
drag Melissa and her wife.
say. Yeah, that's true. I could do that. They would
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
You
I'll
you
find
guys could
somebody.
like go out as a GameStop girls night and just be like,
Right? And just party.
well, I was gonna say you could like go like as like a
You're doing it
goof to be like,
for the
let's see if this is like,
customers.
yeah, basically. So,
Yeah, she left too. Actually, I don't know.
oh really?
Yeah, she's
Who-
gone.
I mean,
Yeah,
who's
right.
even there anymore?
Nobody. Kind of almost nobody. But there's no OGs anymore. Just me. Just me.
Oh
But it's
gee,
okay. Yeah. Oh golly. Right. But
she got
yeah,
got.
no. She'd probably still go, honestly, I'd say. Because like they like that cute, like, they like that cute spooky thing. I don't know how to explain them, but they would probably
Melissa will totally jump.
I may yeah,
Guarantee,
oh, will she get
guaranteeing
like
it now.
okay. Yeah, that would actually be kind of funny.
I don't
Because she
think she'll
doesn't
be
do
scared, but
scary.
I think she'll jump.
She would be. She's even worse than I am, like 100%. Like I think that she
I know.
apparently at least. So I think it'd be
Can
good.
can can confirm.
Wait, how do you know Mel's scared?
I can just tell you.
You just
Watch it
know?
with.
Do you smell the fear on her?
Yep, just watch it with her and then tell me if I was right or wrong.
Okay, okay, I'll do it. I'll have
Um,
to let her know. Maybe we'll
yeah.
just do a double date.
Well, don't tell her ahead of time then, because then she'll try to prepare herself not to jump.
Oh, I'm not gonna tell her not to be scared. I'm just gonna watch the show and then the movie
Oh,
as well. Yeah,
oh,
no,
okay.
I'm here for it. Trust me.
Fair enough. So
Yeah.
last thing before I let you go, is
Okay.
there anything like on your horizon, like movie wise, that you're looking forward to, interested in, aware of, anything like that? I,
So
I know I know you said you're not a big movie person,
I'm
so
not.
I'm tempering my expectations, but you never know.
Mm, I can't say so. Like the thing that I got most excited to see recently was that new Jackass movie. And it did not disappoint. And that came out a while ago, don't get me wrong. Like that's literally the
Oh,
last time I went to see the movies was the Jackass movie that had come out. Like
that's fair.
I don't make it out very
Sure.
often, but like that was the last one. But yeah, no, honestly, I can't think of anything, but a lot of it has to do
Mhm.
with the fact that I'm like all movies suck. I'm never gonna like any of them because I have such a specific taste and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay money for something I don't like, you know. But I
Well,
we got
you've
some
got
good
two
trailers today.
movies that you're telling me that you're. I was gonna say you've got two movies that you're telling me that you're interested in going to see now.
Yeah, I
So
would see those.
theoretically, you could see trailers at those movies for something that you might be interested in,
That's true. Yeah.
or you may maintain the thought of, okay, most movies suck, other except for these ones that I'm watching right now. I don't care about you trailers.
Yeah. Actually, I think the Evil Dead Rise or whatever. Yeah, that I think that was the last one I saw.
Okay,
But yeah,
that was
yeah,
this
I
year.
don't know. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. But yeah, I definitely go see. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'd see the two. Honestly, if anything, it's just check it off my belt and just get the FNAF one taken care
I
of, so I
love
know at least.
I love that. Well, and then too, like if you talk to customers, you don't have to
Like I saw the
you don't have to do that.
movie.
Well, yeah, you don't have to do that GameStop BS thing where we're like, yeah, I totally played that. That game is so fun.
Right? Yeah. I'm just like,
I,
tell me about it. They ask me all the time if I've seen the movie, and I'm just like, no, sorry.
I used to feel so bad doing that, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, a new game comes out here every week. How could I possibly have played all these games? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
I just watched a
realistically,
couple
I'm
on
like, oh yeah,
screen.
man, that's totally fun. You're buying it today, right?
Yeah, right? Man, I wish we worked our commission, but no. But yeah, no, definitely. I think that what you told me about my dog is popping off in the back. What you told me about the Five Nights makes me feel a lot better. Not just the Matthew Lillard thing, though, but the fact that you said that they
That
pushed
helps.
that PG
But
13. I'm like, okay.
the Matthew Lillard thing will help though.
I love Matthew Lillard so much. I met him. I met him at a convention. He's such a sweetie pie.
I'm jealous. It was the
He
local one,
should
wasn't it?
be.
Came
It was
to
Yeah, it was
yeah.
Syracuse. It
Yeah,
was
that was a
good.
good year too. There was somebody else there that I really wanted to meet that I missed out on, like Malcolm McDowell, I think.
I met one of them, Doug Bradley, which was really awesome.
He's
Pinhead.
one of the
Pinhead.
he's one of the Jasons, right?
No, he's Pinhead
Oh,
from
okay.
Hellraiser. Yeah,
Yep.
he's good. He was super awesome. And then yeah, I met a couple of other people, but Matthew Lillard was super nice, and then Doug Bradley was really cool. But
Mm.
yeah, so that's nice to know.
Well, when you catch those, you let me know what you thought.
I will give you an update.
I thank you for being a guest tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, everybody always gets like nervous to be on, and then they like once we get here, it's like it's just a conversation with me. I swear, it's
It
nothing
is,
bad.
yeah. I was spooked a little bit. I'm like, ooh, I'm nervous. But no, this is very comfortable. This is definitely really, really nice. I'm glad that, nobody's gonna judge me for my vacuum in the
Nope.
background.
It's like Planet Fitness over here, judgment free zone.
All right, perfect. Cool. I was just cleaning
Yeah.
the bunny cage, so.
All right. Well, thanks again, Sam, and we'll catch everybody on the next movies and minutes. I've been your
Sounds
host.
good.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.